Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in last session we discussed about how to prepare a elevation and section. So from a basic plan and we need to develop in a particular detailing aspect. Today we will be discussing about what is the meaning of design center and what is the use in AutoCAD. And also I will be teaching you today how to create a blocks and define attributes, and most important thing, how to use a layer manager. So if you are civil engineer students and architecture students, you are making a building plans, so you should be aware about the layer manager. So this tool will be helpful in various options, so how to control the lines or types. So that's the most important thing in AutoCAD, how to use a layer manager. So let's start the session quickly. We'll go to design center. So let me open my AutoCAD. Yes, so once you are ready with your settings, so just you need to type DC. So type DC in the command box, so your design center get activated. So once done, your design center get activated. So here you can see the arrows, so I can open and control these options, so I can hide and unhide. So this is basically a design center. So what is there in design center? How to use this? So in design center is nothing but you have some various set of options. So if you see here, analog integrated circuits, then CAD textiles, basic electronics and electricals, fasteners, home applicants or hydraulic equipments. So number of objects are there. So for example, if you go for home space planner, just click it and you can go for blocks. So now you can see what all things is required in your house, like furniture type, a chair or computer terminals or a kind of desk or any plant. So all these are called blocks. So these blocks are already predefined in Autodesk. So you can directly use this object and you can do the scale. So you want to enlarge the size or you want to short or reduce the scale, we can do it. For example, if I go for a chair, so once you select the chair, you can see the name is already given, a chair rocking. So select double click, you can do the double click. So once you double click, it asks you where to insert. So on a specific point of the screen or a specific scale, if you have some particular scales, you can give on a specific screen. Again, as per the rotation, so you want to rotate the chair as per a 90 degree or a 270 degree, we can use some specific angle over here. So these blocks are basically in inches. So factor is given as by default 2.54 in inches. So again, there is one more option, you can explode it. So explode is these lines will get broken into segments. So we are not going to do explode option. So just if you are a practitioner or beginner, you can use this simply. Just click OK. So once you click, you can see it is ready on the screen. So you can see this mouse is you can see this is freely moving. So where you want to place it, so suppose I want to place it over here, just place it. Now you can see the chair is placed on the screen. So where this kind of options are used, so when you have some building rooms, so when you are planning some building room, so you want to put some objects inside it, so you can bring it, move, and you can place it object here. Suppose if you see that object is very small and you want to enlarge that object, select the object, right click, you have option called scale. So just you can go for the scale and just type the scale factor, how much you can select the base, which base point you are going to take, and you can also do the dragging. So now you see, if you drag your mouse cursor, the object gets enlarged, right? So this is scaling up. So if you want to give the scale value, suppose you can see on the screen 7.95 is showing and now it's currently 9.15. So if you know specific scale factor, suppose I'm going to give 12. So according to the 12 scale factor, this object is enlarged. So now you can move again inside and you can place it inside the rooms. So wherever rooms are there, you can place the object. So this is the main concern of your design center. We can use n number of objects. You want a desk, double click again, then you can place the desk also wherever it is required. So now just place the desk and you can scale it up. So this way this design center is used. So not only for objects, so you can also have some hydraulic equipments, or if you are mechanical background students, you have some hydraulic or temperature control or valve or motor. All these objects are available in part. Again, similarly for electrical and electronics, so you can also have some electrical parts like pressure switch or compressors or motor hydraulics. So all these symbols are there. So you can use this n number of objects and we should be aware about the path where this path is available in Autodesk. So be careful about this path. It's shown here. It's in C, program file, Autodesk, AutoCAD, which version you are using currently. So it will be represented here 2024. Under that you can see sample and ENUS. So that is ENUS. Again English in US standards. So we are using in US standard. So now we have a design center. Under that we have this path. So please be aware about the path where it is available. So design center will be available here. Similar way we can also have dynamic blocks. So here also we have some kind of symbols. So we can use this dynamic blocks also in similar manner as like your previous one. So this is how it's helpful to create a design center applications in AutoCAD. Right. Further that, what is called blocks. So today we are going to discuss about blocks and attributes. Now these are some predefined blocks which is already existing in Autodesk. So we are using it directly. Suppose if you are an interior design student or you're an architecture student, or you want to create a own design for you, and then how to create a blocks. So you want to make some shape. So let's make some objects. So we are going to make some shape. So just I'm drawing it randomly. Okay, so now I just made this part as an object. So I need to use this object in my drawing as a block. So as simple, what you can do, go to your insert tab. There is an option called create block. So there is an option called create block. So select create block. So now you can give some name to this particular block. I'm just going to give a shape 1. So I'm just giving a name, and it asks a question, specify on screen, or object should be selected. You can select the full object, or you want to do for any kind of annotative behavior, you can select the scales also. So let's see one by one. So if I'm going for the first option, a pick point, so I just select the pick point. So automatically X and Y axis is selected. We don't have Z now, so Z is going to be 0. So as per this axis point, the object is selected. So now we can click OK. So no object have been selected from the block. What do you want to do? So now it is asking you want to select full block or not. So the points has been selected, but entire object is not selected. So when you select the object, now see, I'm just going to select full objects. Now press enter. Now you can see that object is selected. So now you can have an option called convert to block, or you want to delete it. So its option is you can convert it as a block and you want to delete it. So it will be selected as object. Now click OK. Now it get deleted and your blocks is ready here. Okay, now let's go ahead, insert block. Now you can see that shape is available. So now you can replace it again. You can place it anywhere. How many times you want to repeat it, you can do that. So this is how the blocks are used. So especially blocks are used in making a new shape or new objects. So then we can go for blocks. So let me repeat in simple process. So just going to create a simple object again. So just I'm creating another mode. Right. So now I want to utilize this as a block. So I want to utilize this as a block. Just go to insert, again create a block. So directly you can go for select object also. Select full objects and press enter. Give a name for this. Okay. So now click OK. So 3 objects are selected. We have 1 circle and 2 rectangles. So it's clearly show 3 objects is selected. Now I'm going to retain and convert as just block. Now click OK. Now you can also control the units. So block units, which units you want to control, you can use to make this option to control this also. Millimeters or feet or inches, we can control it. Now let's go for change. I'm going to keep it in millimeters. Then click OK. Now the block is created. So if you want to insert it, you can see the block. Now if you see the difference between the previous one and the current one, so the previous one we had it in meters. So I didn't change the block units. Now I have given option of millimeter. So what happened? The object get changed. The size has been altered. So if you see the previous one, the size has been changed now. So this is how the block units is also helpful in controlling your object size. So I hope this is clear to you how to use objects or how to create a object blocks. Okay, now next we are going to go for attributes. So what is called attributes and how attributes is going to useful for you. Okay, so attributes are basically used for making some data. So you are working on a tables or your client data, so we can create our own attributes. For example, let's go for a table data, or you can make your own table. So I'm just going to take some default tables, right? So let me draw it. Now over here, if you see, I want to create something over here, right? So let's go for multi-text. I'm just going to create a title. Okay, so I'm just going to create a title. Then again I'm going to create some thing called date. Then I'm just going to give some name, or you can give client name. Okay, so you can stretch it, right? Then you want to keep some a scale factor or any other data which you want to keep. So let me take units. Or simple, you can go for your any numbers. So if you're a student, then you can go for registration number, all these things you can go for it, right? So I have created this, so I don't want this part, so we can later on delete it. So what we do basically, we type it again and again. So we go and type again, so it will be a time consuming. So we are going to create attributes. So understand very clearly. So attributes is nothing but we are creating a data. So we are going to create a data over here. So how to do this attributes? So let's go ahead. I'm just going to create one more. I'm just creating here as a title. Okay, so you can go for define attributes. So let's go ahead, go to insert, define attributes, go for a tag. So I'm going to create a title. Again, prompt is going to be title is equal to what? So it's going to be a default value, so you can leave it as it is. Click OK, keep it here, right? So one attributes is defined. Next attributes I'm going to define as date. So date is equal to, okay, so if you want to put a date, you can click on the date format. There is a format also. So if you want to select which format of date you need, then you can select the date format. So we can select the date formats, which date format required. So next, click OK, then place it over here. Next I'm going to go for client name. Sorry, let's go for define attributes. Then I'm going for name. Again, name is equal to, make sure here it should not be a blank space, should not be added. So no spacing is allowed in the tag or in the prompt. Okay, now click OK. Now name is also added. The next attributes, I'm just going to give some registration number. So be careful, no, you can use underscore. Okay, so registration number is equal to, right? Click OK. So we are going to keep it here. Now all this is done, right? So now we are going to convert as a blocks. So we have already defined the attributes. Now we are going to convert as a block editor. So what you do, just go for create block. So select the object, enter. So you can give some table name, right click. Okay, now if you see here, once you press enter, it asks you a registration number, date, title. So you don't want to retype again and again. So for example, I'm giving a registration number, simple 1 2 3 4 7 8 9, and name of the person I'm just taking myself, Ganesh S, and title of the project, so hospital building. Okay, so now click OK. Now you can see on that part, so automatically it shows the date and everything a title box is ready. So you don't want to retype again and again. So if you want to change anything, any data, just type this part, the attributes get open. You can change only the values. You can just change the values only. So whatever the name you are going to create, it is going to be typed here, right? So this is how these attributes will be helpful in AutoCAD. So same way you want to change the number, you can change the number. Automatically you can check save. Or you want to change the date, you can change the date functions also, which date you want to enter. You cannot do it. So if you're not having that property, you can remove this also. You can change some colors. You want some colors, you can add the colors, all these things. So manage attributes, if you're going for manage attributes, so again we have more options. So all the settings can be done. So what are the names or blocks, you can edit it. Again you can control this also, right? So these are the options which you see in attributes and block function. So very fastly we can create a table of content, and we can create with the attributes functions also. So I hope this will be helpful for you to create a table, and please do not type again and again in the tables. So what I see generally, so it's totally waste of time. What we do, we just create a table like simple manner like this, then we type again, or we create a tables like this, right? So these are all consuming time. So this will be consuming our time. So for every drawing you need to create like this. So now what you generally do, we type again name, then again we'll go for some title, then again you go for some registration number, right? So if you see this, more time consuming. Again what you need to do, you need to type again here the name. So for every project we need to create like this. So it's better to have blocks and attributes which can reduce your time consuming, and you can easily use in multiple projects also, right? So I hope you are clear with the attributes and what is the meaning of block editors. So next part which you want to know is all about the layer manager. So what is layer manager basically, and where it is, and what it is doing in AutoCAD, right? So as I earlier said, if you're a civil engineering student or architecture students, then layer manager will be very helpful in order to control your drawings, right? So what is there in the layer manager? So the layer manager option is right over here. If you see over this part, so you can clearly see the layer manager, and various options are available in layer manager. So just you click on the layer manager. Okay, so once you click on the layer manager, the window get open. Now what is this layer manager? So layer manager help you to identify or to draw a different set of line at different colors or with the different line weights, and also it is helpful to control your lines in a particular drawings. You want to hide, or you want to control, you want to lock. So those functions are available inside this layer manager, right? So let's see in detail what this layer manager is doing. Suppose let's have a small demo. I'm just making a rectangle for 10, 20. Okay, so this rectangle has done. So I'm just going to take an offset. Let's go for offset 230, right? So now you can see very clearly the double lines are there. Suppose I want to draw a center line over here. Suppose I want to draw a center line here, marking. So I just want to make a center line. Either you can do like this, or simple trick, again offset. So 230 we taken, so 0.115 I'm going to take. So now you can select this and you can put it as a center line. Now I want this particular point center line as a dotted lines. What basically we do right click, go to the property, then we see line type, anything is available or not, then we do the changes. So these are old part, we are not going to do this trick. So it's very easy to do the layer options by using a layer properties. So how you are going to convert this middle one as a dotted lines. So in order to get your dotted lines or center line which you want to load basically in layer properties. So when you click on the layer properties, you can see only def point and 0 as the default name, and there is option one by one I will explain you, that is on. So either the layer line is visible on your screen or the line is not visible. So according to that we can see it. So if you put off, you can see background, the line's gone off, nothing is visible in the background, you can check it. So line gone invisible, right? So this is the first option. So either to turn on or turn off. So freeze is nothing but layer cannot be freeze since we are having only one layer, so we need to add a multiple layers. So I'll show you that demo. Now lock is to, you can't edit it, you can't delete or you can't edit it, so it also get lock, so it is completely locked now, right? Next option is called plot. Okay, so this is highly useful in printing settings. So when you're taking a printout or a kind of report or drawings, so you can control the lines is to be taken in the printout, or you don't want that particular lines in the printout. So especially used in kind of marking or center line markings, points. So these we can use this plot options. Next is the colors. What kind of colors you are using in AutoCAD, in drawings. So according to the color required as per the user, we can use this. So different colors are there, we can use any of the colors. Okay, the next kind of line type. So here is the most important thing, how to load different types of lines. So now click on the load, you can see the Autodesk the AutoCAD show you a different set of lines. So dotted lines, dashed lines and center lines. Okay, so here is the center line which we are going to use now, and apart from that we also have dashed lines and dividend lines or fencing lines or hidden lines. So various types of lines are available in AutoCAD, right? So let's go for the center line which I'm going to use now. You can see clearly it is represented by long line, one short line, again long line, another one short lines. So I'll just prefer for it, let's go for it. So I loaded this line. Another line I'm just going to take for a demo, dashed lines. Okay, so two lines I have loaded. So click now. Okay, so first of all this is 0, so it's by default it is showing. So create your own layer. So once you click on this option, create layer. Now I'm just going to create as a wall as my name. Let it be as default white color and then continuous. Now one more I'm adding, I'm going to write it as center line. So center line is created. Now I'm just going to change the color as yellow color. The line type which I'm going to prefer is as center line. Got it? Now one more line I'm going to write, that is called a property line. Okay, so our fencing line, you can put anything. Just for example, I'm taking property line. I'm just going to change this as a blue color. Now I'll change this as to be dashed lines, right? Similarly, if you have some windows, doors, we can create it. So I'm just going to add a window. Now change this color to some different colors. I'm just going to take green. Let it be a solid line. Okay, now you can also create for doors as well. So now you can see here center line, property line, window is there, and also walls are there. So what is def points? Basically a def point will not show anything in your printout. Whatever you draw, it will not get printed out in your output file. So that is called def point. So nothing will be visible in your drawings when you take a output. So you can see here the printout option is freezed. We can't do anything. That is called your def point. So last is nothing but line weight. So you might be used in engineering graphics or different types of pencil, 2HB pencil, HB pencil, in order to make a line dark or light. So that is called a line weight. So how much line weightage you are going to give when you see it in printout. So these options will reflect only in printout. You can see that in printout settings or preview part, we can see this effect. So there are different type of line weights, are there light and 0, 0.09, 0.15. So that is nothing but like kind of darkness. When you see in a printout, you can see the weightage of the lines, right? The last is called transparency. How much light of transparency you need, you can give the transparency values. Then you have something called new vertical plane frequency. So you want to freeze the vertical planes. So these are used in 3Ds as well. So now description, you can give what type of descriptions. So for window purpose you can give, or wall purpose, whatever the description you like to give it. Okay, let's start with this. So I have created all this part. Now close this. Let's go back to the diagram. So I already made a wall. So I select these two walls, inner wall and exterior wall. So this is the interior wall and this is the exterior wall. I'm just going to convert as wall now. So now I have changed this option by controlling over here. So I just changed it as layer wall. So now interior wall and exterior wall is selected as a wall category. Now see very carefully. I just select this center line. I go here. I just change it as center line. Now the center line has been modified. You can see the yellow color, but still you can't see the dashed lines, right? So it's not visible. So this is nothing but due to the scaling property. So when you start from the proper scalings, then you can see the options. Now how to see this? Just you can go for right click properties. Here you can see the scale value. So just expand it a little bit. Okay, so come down. Just a minute, let's expand it. Okay, so when you see here scale, line type scale, let's give for 0.05. It's not having an effect. So let's go for 50. It's not having. So let's go for, no, let's go for 0.025. Yes. Now if you see on the screen, the scale is changed now. So you can see very clearly the lines, one long line, one dashed line, one long line, dashed line. So this is how the center line is represented. Suppose I want to draw a window. Click on this rectangle. So you can size, make some window size. So it's at the rate 1.2 comma 0.230. So I'm taking this as a window. I'm making complete diagram. Okay, so this is a window now. Convert this as a window. Now it is converted as window. Now you can copy this wherever you want. Just paste a window. Ortho off in order to move. So wherever you want, you can place the windows. I hope now it's clear to you. So this is how we can make a placement of window. So before placing, you can trim it, then you can place it your windows so that the center line can be hidden. Right. Now if you see option, I just go to the center line option. I just turn it off. Okay, I just turn it off. Turn off. Now you can see the picture that without center line, you can see the clear cut of windows. So the windows are exactly placed on the walls. You can see very much clear now. So once you control again, you can put it on. You can center line is visible. So this is how you need to use your layer manager in drawings rather than creating a single line options. So I saw when you use a single line, it's very complicated. You want to trim or you want to edit or you want to select, then it becomes very complicated in drawings. So now if you are going for a experience in AutoCAD to make more drawings or buildings plan, then you need to be aware about to use a layer manager. So understand the application of layer manager in drawings, then it's easy to make your set of drawings. Now see another advantage. Suppose I want to delete all the windows. So let me place a little bit part. So just going to make, oh sorry for it. So let's go for proper selection. So CP, I'm selecting the base. Okay, so let's going to paste here. Let me paste it over here. Let me paste it. Suppose I want to delete all the windows. Okay, so rather than selecting one by one, so what you do, you select 1, you select 2, you select 3. So now it's time consuming. You need to select all these 5 windows one by one. So we are not going to do that. Just we are going to select one window and right click, go for select similar. Just there is an option called select similar. Once you select similar, you can see only the windows of that particular layer properties. So only that windows which this object also, including this object also. So only that we can delete it. So in such case, the layer manager is very useful in order to make your drawings easy way. So this is how we do layer manager options, right? So the n number of things you can add. You can keep on adding for doors, you can keep on adding for parapet walls, or you want to create brick walls or partition walls. You want to add some partition wall. So I'm just going to give a partition wall. Okay, so then I'm going to give a, I'm just going to give a color, something called a pink. Okay, so just it's going to be a solid line. So in certain case we have shear walls also. So if you want a shear wall, you can add shear wall, load bearing walls. Okay, so then we can go for some red colors, then again default. Right, now close it. Now I need to draw some partition wall. So I just go for partition wall, select the line. So I'm just going to draw somewhere here, ortho on. So just take 5 meter. Then I'm just going to draw here, offset of this. Here you can see the partition walls. So if you are having some shear wall, if you are making a plan for some buildings, there you need to plan a shear walls construction, then you can go for shear wall construction. So I'm going to take a line again. So over here I want to construct some shear wall, right? So this portion I can shade it also, then I can show this as a shear wall constructions. So this is how we can see the applications of layer manager in AutoCAD. So how to utilize it. Okay, now let's talk about what is freeze and lock. So I already explained what is on and off control. So now we want to talk about something called freeze and lock. So let's take about shear wall. I'm just going to put freeze. So it's already in particular use. So you're currently in layer is shear wall. So this warning will be there. So try to convert, change something, keep it, and now go for shear wall and just put freeze. Now close this window. Now can you see it has been freezed? You can't see that. So similar to invisible visibility, but you can't edit or you can't see it. So this is freezed completely. So until unless you release it out, okay, so these are the options. So when you release it out, then only you can see the shear wall. Same way lock. So nobody can edit it. So you can't edit, you can't trim any option. So this object is lock. Now you can see the lock symbol over there. So this way quick functions we can use in layer managers. Okay, let's see about the def point. I'll show you a demo of def point. Now also the plots part. So what is the use of def point? So def point is basically for users just for making some marking positions. So I'm going to have some marking here just for my own part. So I'm just keeping some markings for any application. You are doing some important work or you're dividing some lines. So for your understanding, we are keeping some number of markings. Okay, so in building plans we use it, markings. So just keeping marking like this. So suppose some columns are coming or beams are coming. So just to understand, we are keeping markings. So I use these all now. Okay, so let's go everything. So before that we need to convert this all in def point. I forgot to do it, sorry for it. So before you draw, try to change all these lines and add def point. Okay, so next now I'm converting as def point, right? So now I just kept it in def point. You can see now these are all def point. So now all these are in def point. You can add draw one more also, keep it in def, draw something. You can draw whatever it is. You can draw whatever it is on the screen. Okay, so now all these are in def point, which is shown on my screen, right? Let's go for a printout. Just go for printout setting, go for print, add a print PDF. Okay, so let's go for preview. Now if you see, nothing is visible. So what are the marking I done? It's not visible. So this setting we need to do in printout setting. I'll teach you printout setting in upcoming session, how to do the printout setting. Now if you see that part, clearly the def point is not shown on the screen. That means what? It's not reflecting in your printouts. It's not reflecting in your printout, but on screen it is reflecting. So when you see on the screen, it is reflecting. So select similar, just select similar, just delete when it's not required. So this is the application of your printout. Okay. Similar way, we also have line weights. So when you talk about line weights, so for example, I'm just going to take this shear wall. I'm just going to increase the line weight to be maximum. I'm just giving for understanding purpose 2.11 I'm giving. Okay, so I have given it, but presently on the drawing, when you're doing a drawing in model, it's not reflecting. Let's check in layout also. So in layout, let's go for layout, just a minute. Okay, yes, layout 2 is there. Right, now you can see in the layout 2 also it is not reflecting, right? So we are given the maximum point for 2.11 mm for the line weights, but still it is not reflecting. Just go again for the printout. Okay, so let's see for PDF. Right, go for preview. Now can you see the effect of line weight? So how big it is. So this is a line effect, a line weight effect. So you want to do some marking or darkness of line, then it shows as per your part. So this is again, as I said, the default settings should be done, then you can make all this clearance done. So this is how your layer manager is highly useful in your drawings. So you can control all this layout control by using these options. Whatever you want to do, hide, or you want to show this in printout. So suppose you don't want to show the shear wall in printout, you can put off. So now this will not show in your printout. You will not show it now printout. Just close it again. Just go back. Again you can see printout. Go for preview PDF. Right, now see, it's not showing a printout. So because I turned off the layer printer layer option in, so it's hidden, so nothing is visible in the printout. So this is how we can use all the various tools that is available in your layer manager, and very important for civil engineers and architects when you are making up building plans. So let me show you some few sample. Okay, so I have loaded few projects. So if you see this particular part, so this is a simple line sketch shading with all done. We are doing it layer options. So you can control the layer options, various layer objects you can do it. So if you're going for a big scale, so this is the objects. So again here you can see I have added number of objects in the part. So different layer options I have added. So for section line or property lines or CAD blocks. So according to that, the objects are controlled here. Right. So next part, if you see a particular elevation diagram, so wherever windows, doors are there. So according to that, we are using different types of options. So at elevation 1, different colors, elevation 2, different colors, or text. You can even add for text. So you are using some text. So for text also you can use some colors that also can be controlled in your layer properties. So these are some samples for huge projects. So these are the application of layer properties. So when you come and work with the real industrial example, you should be aware about the layer properties. So without any awareness about layer properties, it's very difficult to work in AutoCAD. So that's how today's session. So I hope the inputs for today video will be helpful for you to learn about what is meant by layer properties, attributes, and also design centers. So thank you for watching.